Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Today I'm going to be doing episode 4 of my favorite box sets. I have 187 box sets. I got a suggestion from a viewer. Let's start seeing your collection and some of your favorite box sets. And I'm like, great idea. I hope you're enjoying it if you're tuning in. If you're new, please hit subscribe. Check out my other videos. Today, episode 4 is this rare box set of one of my favorite I used to call them pet artists, people that, cult artists that I was a really big fan of and still am, that really just never made it in a big way. And today we're talking about Nils Lofgren, and this is a beautiful box set. It's called Face of Music. It came out on Concord Records with help from Rhino, and it's 9 CDs and a DVD, 10 discs in total. It is long out of print. I don't know if you could find it. I haven't seen one in a long time. So I'm going to go through this box. It's a really awesome collection if you like Nils Lofgren. And clearly I like Nils Lofgren because what you see around me is 35, without exaggeration, 35 Nils Lofgren albums. I have all of his studio records. Missing one live run, his last one I didn't pick up, and missing a couple of compilation albums. But I got the whole Nils catalog. My history with Nils, and you could check out, I have a video of the discography of Nils where I go through every album. It's in my playlist if you check out artist discographies. I did it about a year ago on Nils Lofgren. It's a little bit lower budget. It doesn't have the high budget of my couch here. It's not easy displaying 35 albums. But anyway, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Face the Music came out in 2014. It's a great collection of Nils. I got into Nils mid-70s. I was young, had subscriptions to both Cream and Circus magazine. And even though we talk about the golden age of radio back then, even then, a certain artist, Wishbone Ash, another one, and Nils Lofgren never got any radio play. Very rarely did you ever hear Nils on the radio. So I decided to check him out because there was always advertisements in, like, especially Cream magazine. And I was like, this guy just looks so cool. And he had a song called Keith Don't Go about his idol Keith Richards, and I'm obviously a big Stones fan. I'm like, I got to check him out. And then when I joined Columbia House in 1977, he got like 12 albums for a penny. I got 2 Nils Lofgren albums. I got, where is it? Night After Night, and I Came to Dance. Those are the actual ones from Columbia House to this day from 1977. But anyway, let's go through this box set. I'm going to get a little bit closer. So you open it up. It's kind of a thin box. And then this was on the back. And this shows the track listings. Again, you got 9 CDs and a DVD. It's a lot. It's like got to be close to about 160 plus songs on this thing. And then it comes with a really nice box, which we will go through now. And the great thing about this box is that Nils himself curated it. He had full creative control as far as the song selection. And what he did, which I really appreciate, is he went album by album, starting with Grin, which was the band he was the leader of, and they had 4 albums, and then he went solo with the Nils Lofgren album. And he decided to pick which songs he would use from each album. So if he loved an album, in a lot of cases, he would use virtually every song on the album, or a lot of the songs. And if he wasn't thrilled with the album, he maybe picked just 1 or 2 or 3. So there's the first Grin album right there, and this book's got great artwork, great photographs, reproductions of posters, Nils Lofgren and Grin as an opening act, 1+1, another great Grin album. There's the third album, All Out, which is behind me. You'll see it right up there. Gone Crazy, their 4th album, and then you get into the classic debut solo album, great album, and Cry Tough, and this is just a great book. There's 77's I Came to Dance and the double live Night After Night. Those are the first 2 Nils Lofgren albums I got. I wasn't a huge fan of I Came to Dance. It was just okay, but Night After Night blew me away. There's 1979's Nils album. It was a big hit for me. Loved that album. Night Fades Away. Wonderland, another great one. Flip, and then he goes to Ryko. That was the last. Flip was the last of his major label albums, and then he did Silver Lining with Ryko Disc. Had a little help from the Bruce Springsteen, because by that time he was now a member of the E Street Band, which is how most people know Nils. There's Damaged Goods, another album, great live one called Acoustic Live, Code of the Road, an older live one. And so most people know Nils as the guitarist in the E Street Band. Funnily enough for me, I was actually into Nils Lofgren before I was into Springsteen. Springsteen, I really didn't get into in a big way until like 78, 79, the Darkness on the Edge of Town time period. And I got into Nils in 77. So I was a fan of Nils before I was really a big fan of Springsteen. So this is just a really, really beautiful, all-encompassing book. It's in Nils's words. He talks about each album. He talks song by song, why he chose the songs, the histories of these songs. And if you want to take a look at the what you get, so there's disc 1, and he's a really big fan of the first Grin album because, geez, that's like tracks 1 through 7, I think, from Grin. Yeah, 1+1 starts with White Lies is from that album, so it's like track 8. So he's a big fan of the first 2 Grin albums, and there's from the 3rd album, and the 4th album only has like 2 songs. And then he gets into the solo period. His first album is really a classic. I know it's hard to see, isn't it? But can you see that? Let's see. But you get the idea. It just goes 9 discs. I don't know, 160, 170 songs. Each disc has roughly around 20 songs or so. And you get the idea. And it goes in chronological order from the 4 Grin albums up through his solo career, the live records he cherry picks from, and it just goes on and on and on in order. And then when you get to disc 7, you start getting into demos, unreleased tracks. There's a track he did with Lou Gramm from Foreigner. So you get, there it is, you get 2 discs of outtakes and demos, things that were not released. That's what these 2 discs are, which is really nice. So that's for the real big Nils fans, stuff that you can't get anywhere else after 8 discs. And then you get a DVD of cherry picks of all different kind of live stuff. And there's a great shot of Nils, because he used to do a backflip on a trampoline, and there's him opening up for The Who. So this is just a great, great box set. There's his discography, and this is just a beautiful book that comes with it. Also came with it, this is how they put the discs in. It's really nice. So this is the cover, and you open it up, and it's got a reproduction of Grin opening up for Jimi Hendrix. And then you open it up again. There's another poster of Grin. And then you open it up again. There's Nils Lofgren poster. And there's the disc right there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You got 9 CDs and a DVD. And it folds up really nicely, so all of this can fit tightly in this little box. It also came with a numbered edition. I had number 2332. Hand-signed and drawn by Nils Lofgren. And I framed it, which is why it's in this frame, and it's hanging in my archives. But I actually met Nils on like 2 occasions, and he was super nice guy. He actually autographed one of my CDs. Where is it? I bought it at the show. This was a hard CD to find. This was a soundtrack he did called Every Breath. Had Bonnie Bramlett on it and Tom Lepson, and he wrote Believe, Nils Lofgren. Really nice guy. So there you have it, folks. 9 minutes in. You know what? Maybe I'll quickly show you his discography. What the hell? So you got the Nils Lofgren first album. This is a classic from beginning to end. This is just a great, great album. The second one was Cry Tough. Also a really strong record. The third solo record is up there. That's I Came to Dance. Kind of Menza Menza. The title track actually did get some FM play at the time. The double live record, Night After Night. And this is why I tried it. Look at how cool he looked. Didn't he look great? This was the double live record that I actually got from Columbia House. 1977. Still sounds great. And not easy to find some of these albums. I did finally find the album on CD, but it was missing a track. After that album, he did the Nils album. And this was supposed to be the big breakout hit because it was produced by Bob Ezrin. Of course, you know, he did The Wall, Bob Ezrin, Alice Cooper, and he did songs with Lou Reed writing with him on this album. And had a kind of a hit in the sense of No Mercy. This is a really good album. Shine Silently is a song that's a must hear. It's awesome. After that, he did Night Fades Away. I saw this tour is a little bit slicker. But Nils is obviously a really big fan of this album because I noticed in the box he's got a ton of tracks from that album on there. I thought it was okay. I thought this was a much better record, Wonderland. This had Across the Tracks, a must-hear, phenomenal track for sure. Across the Tracks is just killer. Into the Night's really good. This is a really good record. Where did I leave off? Flip. I think that was the last main major label release. This had Secrets in the Street, another great track, and that was a hit a little bit over in Europe. Delivery Night, another great track. It's a good record. Another live record he did was Code of the Road, Greatest Hits Live. That was really good. After that, he went to His Every Breath. That's the soundtrack. After that, he went to Rykodisc for 2 albums, and he did Silver Lining, Springsteen Hoped Out. There's a song called Valentine on here. He toured a lot for this record, released DVD. I have. It's a good record. I don't think it's as good as I think Nils thinks it is, but it's a good record. I actually think this was a much stronger record. The one that he did after that was called Crooked Line, and I thought this is a terrific album. This was a big hit for me. What else you got? Am I missing anything? We got Damaged Goods. It's interesting. Nils has a really distinct style of playing guitar. Even when he's playing with Springsteen, you could tell whenever Nils plays because nobody sounds like Nils Lofgren. He also has a really high singing voice, but not like Geddy Lee. It's just a high-pitched voice. As he got older, like on this album, his timbre, his voice really changed. So it was kind of startling. But it's a good record. Damaged Goods. There's the acoustic live one. That was a really good record. Back when the acoustic live albums came into fashion, this was a really strong record. If you could ever find this one, that's a good one. Breakaway Angel, another good record. All these were like on Independence. He did release another double live record called Nils Lofgren Band Live. It was great in the sense that it had White Lies. Finally got a live version of White Lies on this album. And White Lies is one of the all-time classics. That's a Grin song. But if you want to hear Nils Lofgren, definitely check out White Lies. Love or Else is another great Grin song that is impossible not to like. What else we got? I'll show you the rest. Sacred Weapon, one of his most recent studio records, did okay for me. These latter-day albums didn't do that much for me. I thought they were good, but okay. Nils sings Neil Young, The Loner, an album of covers of Neil Young. Of course, Neil Young helped discover Nils Lofgren, and Nils played piano on After the Gold Rush album. Old School is Nils's most recent studio record, sort of, because he did release this one called Blue with Lou, which was comprised of lost tracks from the Nils album when he was collaborating with Lou Reed. So this was his last album. So actually, the box set that we were talking about is pretty much up to date because it does go up to around that time period of Old School. It covers right through here, so pretty good. 2014, this is Face the Music. If you like Nils Lofgren, 9 CDs, a DVD, great collection, and one of my favorite box sets of an artist that I think deserved more, but he landed pretty good with Bruce Springsteen, so he's done well. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Check out my other videos. Check out Nils Lofgren. You never heard of him? Check out, like I said, White Lies, Love or Else from Grin. at the least. Check out Across the Tracks, Secrets in the Street, No Mercy. Those are kind of commercial tracks. If you don't like those tracks, you'll definitely not like Nils Lofgren, but you'll like him, I guarantee it. That's about it. I will see you on the next go around. Please hit subscribe. Check out my other videos as I keep delving into my favorite box sets, and I hope you're enjoying it. Have a great night.